Well, one of the major areas that we're investing in and focusing on in terms of the six customer conversations is low-cost computing. Music to retailers' ears. They've been all about low cost forever. I mean, they invented margin. They're not cheap, they're frugal. And they're proud of that, and they should be, all right? But here's the cool part. They will invest money if there's a return on that investment or it's a solid thing that can help them hit those three major key areas: improve sales, reduce cost, or improve customer service or loyalty. So the good thing about low-cost computing today, a lot of opportunities to leverage technology to reduce your cost, primarily in the store. When I was a CIO in retail, I used to have a joke with my guys: I can't buy a mouse pad for 2,000 stores without CFO level approval. That's true today, and it's always going to be true. So what you want to try and do is, I mean, technology is a great conduit to achieving a lot of things in the store: associate productivity, customer experience, customer loyalty. But you've got to try and figure out, you can't just go to a retailer and say, throw a bunch of technology in a store. You've got to go in there and help them understand, how can they make that technology environment more efficient? How can they count on it? So let me give you a couple examples of how we're doing that today. Two tracks on low-cost computing. One is literally just taking technology out of the store without compromising or diminishing functionality and productivity things. So we had a huge big box home improvement retailer who was just massive amounts of technology all throughout their store. Probably had about 70, 80 fat PC clients all over the show floor. And those things are running 24/7. So that's a lot of energy that's being burned. Nobody really ever thought about that ever. I mean, if you think back into the 70s, everybody had screensavers run all the time because they were cool, not very green. So they said, can you come in and help us architect an environment that really allows us to infuse more technology and more functionality into the store, but takes that footprint off of the show floor itself so that we can reduce the cost. We went in and designed a thin client solution, leveraging things like virtualization with heavy servers in the back office, pushed some functionality out into the cloud, and took those fat clients out, replaced them with thin clients, using all of Microsoft's base foundations, virtualization, thin client technology, the whole server support stack, system center. And two things popped out immediately, the one of which we knew was going to happen, which is we reduced that maintenance footprint and that support footprint out on the show floor. But we did some quick calculations and found out that each one of those PCs was running about 300 watts of power. And when you did the math, taking that from 300 watts of power down to 30 watts of power with those thin clients was about $20 million a year across the chain in energy savings. So bottom line improvement. We're able to get the functionality down, or get the cost of the maintenance down because you're working with thin clients. But they were also able to, we'll be able to go out to the market and say, hey, we're a green corporation, we're good citizens. We reduced our carbon footprint, and they're saving $20 million a year. So it's kind of a win-win. I love that part. So there's actually going down to thin clients and leveraging that technology. But another hidden cost in low-cost computing is, if you think about how much effort and time and resource and money retailers are spending just supporting their base infrastructures out in the store. And there's a lot of stuff out in those stores, whether it's big box, even specialty. And that stuff has to work. It's mission critical, 24/7 type of stuff. I mean, some of these systems run all night, batch processing and all these types of things. They're remote locations, they're disparate locations, and there's not a whole lot of technology people in those retail stores. So the IT people in retail are really the ones that have to ensure that stuff is working, it's never going down, it's up 24/7. So on average, retailers will spend about 70 to 80% of their IT budget and manpower just supporting the environments. All the store technology, pushing all that stuff into the enterprise, and then pushing it out into the partner and supply chain. 70 to 80%. That's a lot of wasted money and effort, in my opinion, because they're not technologists. These people are retailers. They sell stuff. So the other part of low-cost computing, I think that Microsoft does a great job in, let the systems do the work. Use things like System Center and remote management and monitoring tools that we provide, virtualization in the back office, so that you can get comfortable that you're monitoring these things, you're proactively getting alerts, you're able to effectively and efficiently and confidently know what's going on in those environments significantly reduces that manpower footprint in terms of the amount of money and time you're spending supporting that environment. That's real dollars. And then the cool part is we're taking those hours and those dollars and flipping them into things like innovation and line of business development and functionality that truly supports their core competencies in their business. So really those two key things around low-cost computing, leveraging actually the technology and taking technology either into virtualization, into the cloud, thin client computing, serious dollar savings there, but also the ability to more effectively manage your environment, let the technology and the systems do the work, and then take that money and reinvest it into the business, into your core competencies.